I just did a 20-minute meditation that turned into a 45-minute meditation because I didn't even hear the buzzer. Yeah.
I have to tell you something that Anna taught me. By the way, I did it with her last night.
Awesome. All right, so let me just share this. All right. By the way, I zoomed in my camera. I don't know. Is this better or worse than before?
I like the other way better.
The other way?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It felt a little close. By the way, let me bring it back. Boomski. Okay, cool. All right, guys, welcome. Super excited to have you here. It is our Wednesday show, which means, let me just close some stuff, which means that it is your opportunity to ask us questions. So first, let's start by saying hi to Costa, like listening in on your gents, my kind of value. Welcome back. Good to see your face again. Mary, hello. Thanks for always being here. All right, we definitely got a few more people in here, and more people tend to join here in the upcoming minutes. If Costa or Mary, if you guys have any questions for us right now, would love to answer them. They can be big, they can be small, just something to kind of get the conversation started. Let us know. I think I see Matt throwing up a bunch of thumbs up in there as well. And we got Valerie in here. So yeah, questions. Bro, anything you want to say just to say hi, get started?
I know. I'm trying to post everything right now, and I hear videos I want to. Let me organize, and then I'll be right there. Hi, everybody. Mary, by the way, your hair looks awesome with that haircut. Like, seriously awesome.
Mary, was that you in that video that you just posted with the cut like this? Because if it was, it looked like a totally different person.
Different person, yeah. Me too. I was like, is that her?
I was just like, is it?
Yeah, it actually fits her way better.
It is? Wow, yeah. Mary, you look
different, like a different human. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's how, like, I didn't even recognize you.
I had the same thing. I had to look at it a while. I'm like, is that her? Because it just like frames her face. It makes her face look really different. It looks awesome.
I swear, I thought she took like a meme from someone. And then I was like, where would she even find something like that? Awesome. Well done, Chica. Really well done. Stanislava, thank you. A lot of that has to do with genetics. All right, guys. So who's going to be the brave person to come out and fire off a question and get this awesome conversation started? You know, Guy and I don't need much coaxing to get stuff going.
I just say just kick the rock on the hill. The rest we can do.
It's like a snowball. You just got to get it rolling down the hill. Bro, what's been going on, man?
My world?
Yeah.
Well, hold on, let me mute this because now this is going. I can't update the post for some reason, but I'll get back to that in a second. Man, my world is
Matt. It can be marketing related. It can be anything related.
Anything. My life is hilarious. I mentioned it the other day. Like I'm on the drive up Friday. I'm going to San Mateo, and I'm on the phone with Sean. And Sean's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to go see an alien." And he's like, "Oh, really? What are you going to go do?" I'm like, "No, seriously, I'm going to see an alien." And then and then yesterday, if you would ask me what I was going to do, I was like, "I'm going to have dinner with an oracle." So it's like every day is just hilarious to me because I'm like, my life is a sci-fi movie. Sometimes with aliens and oracles and superheroes. Oh yeah, and I went to go see another guy who's literally a superhero. He does network chiropractic, but it's really not network chiropractic at all. Like he's like, yeah, I have to call it chiropractic because I need something like functional on the front end. He's like, somebody needs to understand what they're kind of coming for. He's like, but none of his work is like that. He's like literally like fifth dimension energy worker who's been in my ethos for a long time. I've wanted to work with him, and I show up. He's like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "I don't know." He goes, "You're my favorite type of people to work with," because I'm just called to be here and work with you. I'm like, I don't really have any ailments. There's nothing wrong with my body. I'm like, I'm just clear that there's certain kinds of activations that I feel like this work is going to do for me, and it was stupendous. Like work, I've never seen it work like that before in my life. Like he was just touching me and not touching me, and I just felt like giant surges of energy moving through my body.
Wow. Yo, can I just ask you a technical question? I'm trying to actually fire this up on my phone for some reason, and the video is like not showing up. Is it working on your phone? Oh, now it worked. Okay, never mind. I got it. We're there. All right. Did I lose your audio?
No, I muted myself. Sorry.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
This video is giving me issues.
Okay. So any questions? Well, we're just debriefing ourselves.
No questions yet. I don't know why the video is refusing to work on my phone right now.
It's all good.
Hopefully you guys can see it. So. All right. Well, I got a question for you.
Shoot.
Because no one else is asking.
Right. This is funny because this is how me and you get to catch up these days.
Yeah, no, we have like scheduled times to catch up. All right, hold on. So Matt just popped in a question. All right, we're thinking about trying Connect.io Explorer. Do you have any opinion about this? It looks quite a great tool for research. Oh, you used it, didn't you?
Yeah. So we used it for a while. I thought some of the stuff that they shared that it could do, it just can't. I don't know. They're talking about like research being done in a really important way, but it's really just using audience insights, and they just organize it a little bit differently. So I ultimately, some of the stuff they said that it can do, I felt like it just couldn't. I would tell you go do Ad Espresso. I mean, the main function that's really important is that you have some kind of tool that APIs between. Oops. I think you just logged me off, bro. Am I still here? Okay.
We're here.
Okay. That you just have some kind of tool that APIs between Facebook leads, right, like the internal services, and Aweber or whatever email service provider. Honestly, even Zapier can do that stuff. So I think when they first came out, it was kind of cutting edge. Now it's there's tons of other services that can do that for a lot cheaper. Ad Espresso will help you both build ads as well as do the API stuff. So I would say that's a good place to start.
Okay, marketing question answered. All right, so I got a question for you. What's been the biggest thing driving your growth and development, like in this week or in the last week or so?
All right, let's go there. I'm laughing because of the size of the answer of this question. Damn, where do I go from here?
So here's my recommendation. Don't make it ethereal where people are like, I don't even know what fucking world he just took me to.
Yeah.
I'm talking like more from a practical standpoint. Something someone can implement, do something like.
Okay. Well,
is there a book that you're reading that's amazing right now? Is there something that you're listening to that's amazing right now?
I really, really like Joe Dispenza's work. So the more practical, I think Joe Dispenza takes spiritual and makes it scientific, where we can start looking at ideas that mysticism has had and be like, wow, we're proving these things true quantifiably in science. So he's really good, I think, at playing a little bit of both, like taking science, but also making it ethereal. Evolve Your Brain is a great book. I'm still going through the Placebo. Probably have another few hours left on that. I've been challenged recently with just making time for reading on their schedules. Our schedules have never been this booked up before, ever. I'm finding it difficult to have time to do like my day-to-day stuff because we're doing so much coaching, which is good. That's great. That's a great sign as far as where business is going. But today was the first day I woke up and I'm like, I'm fucking overwhelmed. Like, I just can't find time to do it. I'm not making time to do the things I want to. My social life is pretty active these days, all sorts of things. So back to your question. I haven't been motivated purely by my own development in a long time. I believe that something is coming in the next 3 years, maybe earlier, I don't know. And that I am working diligently to prepare myself to be somebody who can, in integrity, put themselves in the leadership role that might impact global shifts. So a lot of my motivation to work with people, seek people out, like these witches, wizards, and all these other people, is really because I know they have experiences and information that I just haven't been exposed to. And I'm starting to get a sense for me personally, I can only speak for me personally right now, that there's like systems coming online for me, like superpower abilities that I need help with honing it in. So I'm doing a lot of this work because I just know I need help. Like I don't have language for the stuff that's happening right now. And the intention behind that is not so, hey, look at me, look what I can do. It's because I really want people to get that even Anna, what she can do, like I sat with her yesterday, she was around Yogananda and the self-leadership and the self-SFR her whole life since she grew up. So even that, I asked her yesterday, I'm like, are these natural abilities? She goes, no, all learned. Learned superpowers, Oracle, Avatar, superpowers, right? So that's amazing, right? Because even that, you look at her and you're like, oh, she's gifted. Earned and learned. So again, like, what does that tell you about our biology, that all these things possible for everybody? There's nothing I'm doing that's unique or being that's unique. There's nothing that Ilan's doing or being that's unique. There's nothing that anybody's doing or being that's unique. You got to ask yourself, what are you investing into, with whom, and at what rate of immersion to achieve that which you believe is possible? So for me, what I'm starting to see, and something I really want to write about, is fuck the reality, lean into the illusion. And it occurred to me yesterday, I'm at my best when I'm on medicine, ayahuasca. If my illusion is going to be my perceived reality, my new illusion is I'm on medicine all the time. I'm not taking myself off medicine, because the people that I know, like Lauren and Anna and Joanna, who are like on it, their life experiences, they're like on mushrooms all the time. So why not create an illusion context that I never come off Aya? And whatever abilities Aya, that energy produces, why not have that on all the time?
So just to be clear, so people aren't like, holy shit, what the fuck is he saying? Mm-hmm. You're not physically saying that you're actually going to be on the medicine. What you're trying to bring forth is the experience of that illusion in real world.
Yes. So to have the eyes, the ears, the energy, because that's all it is, right? You drink the medicine and it produces a frequency of alignment for your chakras that produces the reality experience of being able to see multidimensionally, it activates energy. So there's an energy at play there. And again, through quantum physics and even Joe Dispenza's work, like the whole quantum physics, the observer produces the energy, produces the matter. Why not?
Yeah.
And at first it sounds freaking absurd, but 3 months ago, speaking to aliens, having superpowers, God, all of that seemed absurd to me also, where today it couldn't be more, part of my real reality. So it's like, why wouldn't I play with those ideas and say, when am I and maybe this is the question we all ask ourselves is, when am I at my best? What's the environment I keep? What are the things I do? Even if drinking, like you drink a drink or 2 drinks before you get fucking crazy, and you're euphoric and you're outgoing and you feel connected to people, whatever it is for you, there's an energy at play there. And I literally just this morning, Joe Dispenza was talking about a study that was done that they gave college kids drinks. They told them it was alcohol, like tonic. They told them it was like tonic and alcohol together. And for a lot of the people in the study, they literally got drunk.
63% of people that were giving no alcohol
exuded
and felt drunk.
Exuded. Not, and I don't mean like in their brain, like their body produced drunkenness. Because again, like whatever you've experienced before, your body's programmed that in. It's a sensation away.
They didn't believe when they were told that they didn't get alcohol, they didn't believe them.
And when they biologically look at their bodies literally did the things that the body does when it's got alcohol inside of it. So it's like we are at the helm of the wheel. I mean, I do a whole case study on this myself, and like a proclamation is just believe whatever you want to believe. The body's already been trained. So if you want to act at your best, instead of believing that there's some circumstance that needs to be there, start creating the illusion of the environment that you need to get your best. Like, why wouldn't I want to be on ayahuasca all the time? I love that state.
Here's what I would say to that is that I realized that while we were actually in ceremony, and one of the things that I was attempting to create was, well, how do I keep that thing alive? So one of the things that at the time it was happening, I thought was absolutely insane and crazy, and it just kept happening, was I was able to use my hands to basically like transmit love or emotions through my hands and just like really pass it on to another person. And so one of the things that I started doing is I realized that I could do this as a nightly practice. And as I put my kids to bed, I actually hold my hand, one hand on their heart and one hand behind their back. And I transfer that energy. Now, I will tell you that when I was on medicine, it's like much more of a visual experience. It's very tactile. It's very real. Like, I mean, I got to a point where I could literally see electricity just like in between my fingertips. I don't necessarily have that. Having said that, I've definitely felt it alive and present, mostly because I'm not willing to let it go. And to the same point that Guy made, because I know that what I experienced was something that my physicality experienced. It wasn't make-believe. It wasn't some whatever story. Like, I physically felt it, right? On and off the medicine. I'm of the same mindset. I'm like, what things can I put in place today that can keep that present for myself, right? I'm not waiting for the next time I'm in the jungle to experience that. No, I want to hone in that skill. And so, Guy's point, like all these superheroes that we started meeting and all these things that we are now attracting, it's perfect, right? Because we've raised our frequency, we've raised our ability to understand that this is the norm in the world, and that every single one of you listening to this right now, you have these gifts. The coolest part is that my son Shia does this with me every single night. So at 5.5 years old, he's already programming himself to know and understand that his hands can heal and that his hands can transmit love. So like, I'll do it to him and he does it to me. And I'm like, dude, how fucking cool is that? To be in a conversation where from that young of an age, you already believe that that exists inside of you. And there's a practice to do it. Just so you guys know, like, my kids this Friday and this Saturday are learning transcendental meditation. Transcendental meditation. They're 5.5 and 4. I'm like, if I had meditation practice when I was growing up, when any of you were growing up, can you imagine if you had a meditation practice? Like, oh man, I'm so excited to see what these little beings have the opportunity to develop when they're in a place that just knows and keeps reaffirming to them that this is real, versus the rest of the world where it's like, oh, that's bullshit, and people healing with their hands is bullshit, and sound healing is bullshit, and meditation doesn't work, and blah blah blah, which is like the world, right? So yeah, I think for every single person, it's more, and this is kind of the coaching that we did with Marcy even this week, where she was like, I said, my thing that I'm really present to is sending love to everyone. And she was like, okay, I love that. And what kind of practice can you put in place? And so every day after I meditate, I just started it this morning. It was amazing. I reached out to, this is a guy, you're going to love this. So I reached out to Paul Turo. I sent him a message. And it's funny because it's like, it was in my space. And so during meditation, I had very distinct messages like send love to this person, send gratitude to like, it was just, I didn't even have to think. It was just like, boop, boop, boop. So Paul Turo, Joanne Davidian, and the other thing that was really strange is, so I have a live-in nanny. She's been with us for, gosh, I mean, like probably 3.5, 4 years. Yeah, like 3.5 years. And she only speaks Russian. My Russian is not that great. And so what I realized, yesterday was her birthday. And what I realized is because I don't have the ability to communicate with her other than like very, very basic stuff, like I can't relay to her how grateful I am and how much I love, like I just don't have the language to do that. And so this morning I was like, well, I can send her a message, right? Like I can Google Translate. And so I typed the message this morning saying like what I would love to say to her. And I sent it to her and she read it and cried this morning and wrote me like the most amazing message about how grateful she is and that she tells her son that like he should strive to have a family like ours. And she thanks God every day that she has this opportunity to be in our lives and this and that. And I was like, when you want to transmit love, you can fucking find a way. That's what I just resonated today. I was like, I'm just buying into just nonsense. Like I can't communicate with her. I can fucking find a way to communicate with her. And it was just so beautiful. Like she cried, she gave me a huge hug. Then she read it to Fanny and cried with her and gave her a huge hug. It was just so beautiful.
I want to package all that in a simple statement.
Please.
We strive to do more. I believe we need to vibrate more. It's like we say this all the time. It's if you feel good, good things happen. You feel bad, bad things happen. What we're calling feelings is just a subtle vibration in the body that we're associating with language that we're calling good, bad, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit distinctions. And, one of the main things I do when I meditate is I focus on, it's interesting. I was with that guy yesterday, this network chiropractor. He is tapped in on a different level. He knows how much energy you're sending to your brain and how much energy you're sending to your body just by being with you. So he'll like almost touch certain parts of my body and he put me in like positions that I would normally never put myself into. And then he would like literally just press over here and he's like, put your focus over here. And then he'd be like, less with your mind, more with your body. And then the moment I would do, he's like, yes, yes, yes. And I could feel that I'm transmitting the movement from one to the other. And the moment I would do it, he was like, yes, 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 yes. Like he knows exactly. And then he would just like, let me go. And I feel like, whoa, like all the electricity. Yeah, it was unbelievable. Wow. It was ridiculous. Yeah, just like full on activations, right? So he's like, how did you feel? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck just happened in there. I'm like, but that was a lot like taking medicine too. Like to that degree. Like I walked out of there and when you're done with the program and you have like everything's a little bit crisper in your vision, you have like HD or 4K. It was like that. I walk out of there, I'm like, woo, I'm operating at a high level right now. Just like that. So I'm like, yep, sign up. Where do I send things? Yeah, let's do that again, right? So my point is that when I'm meditating, I stopped waiting for circumstances to alter my state. And I started altering my state as if the circumstances are already here. And I've been saying this for about a year, right? When I did that whole thing about the bank account, like when it's 10 million, like fuck the money. I'm like, I know that I want to feel a certain way when there's enough money. I just started feeling that way. And then we started earning money. So it's like, guys, we wait for circumstances to vibrate a certain way, but if you wait that long, A, that's never coming. It's like a someday, one day, you're always chasing the carrot. And then number two, it's like the feeling of that way is what creates those circumstances, not the other way around. Is that the love child? Hey, love child. Love children. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Shia, can you tell them? I'm going to hold you up here for a second. You know what? Here.
He's got a huge grin on his face.
Stand up here. Okay. Shia, what can you do with your hands? What do we do at night?
Send love or healing to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And how does it feel to send love and healing?
Good.
Yeah, it's good.
Do you love it when we do it to each other?
Yes.
Yes.
Is there anything that you've noticed that's different when you do that, or since you've started doing that?
No.
Do you feel more connected?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you love me more when we do that?
Yes.
I miss you so much, Leah.
This part goes over here for the healing.
You're coming back to California. I can't wait.
When we close our eyes, that's how I do. Love is do this and close our eyes.
Ah, I love you.
That's so powerful.
All right. Okay. I'll see you guys at dinner. Bye, Maria.
Bye, guys. We'll talk soon.
Love you.
Short break in there.
It was just perfect because I just heard them coming in and I was like,
let it be perfect. So that's my point, guys. Like we're consistently waiting for external forces to change our internal vibrational frequency. Everything's a choice. Every single thing that's ever happened in your life was a moment where you gave yourself internal permission to either let something go or create something in your life. That's including relationships, love, money, careers, anything that's ever been important to you always came from within first. Then the outside became a reflection of that. So if this sounds crazy to you, like guy's gonna make himself feel like he's in ayahuasca, no, it isn't. I'm just saying, I've done it enough that I know that programming is in my body. Like I'm like a Pavlov dog when it comes to plant medicines. I've done it plenty of times. I know what it feels like every time it comes on and just and I realize, shit, I'm waiting for the circumstance. That's my favorite state in the world. Like I am at my peak state.
Yep.
Godliness and spirit, totally in line, manifesting like a motherfucker, like the whole thing. Why would I wait, right? So now it's about, hey body, when I meditate at night, hey body, you love this state, I love this state, start vibrating with that frequency more and more. And as the mentality of it, that's living in the illusion, slowly gives up its little anchors about what it believes is possible in perception, shit's just gonna start happening.
Exactly.
I still have webinars with you every time, and I look at my face since we've gotten back, and I'm like, what happened? How did this get younger? Not by a little bit, like a lot bit younger. Yep. I literally look 5 to 7 years younger to myself. I feel like I'm 25 again.
Yep.
And I have to keep saying it's just vibration. Everything's just subtle vibrations, and I can tell from me. I don't even have language for it yet. The systems that are coming online for me, the software that's being upgraded, is the systems that allow me to sense vibrations that I've never even paid attention to before, like radio waves that I didn't know were active in the air, and it's just altering everything for me. I no longer even question things about abundance or love or connection or that age or power or energy or anything like that. Like so many of the excuses I had before, I'm in awe of my life experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to, Mary asked an awesome question, and I want to bring it up because it ties in beautifully to what we were talking about. So Mary asked a question, which I'm sure is on every single one of your minds, at least once a day, if you are followers of any sort of personal development work. And that is, do you have any tips, techniques to attract more abundance? How to change the story about receiving money. So I want to read you something that I literally just read minutes, and I'm talking minutes before we got on here. And this is posted by Kevin Humphrey. What's up, Kev? Kevin Humphrey has been in our academy for the better part of a year plus. Like this, he's been
almost 2 years now.
The founding members. So in October, he was of 2015, he joined, and now an Ascension program and works with us one-on-one. So He posted this, and this is from a book called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, a book by Robin Sharma, and it is an amazing book. There's certain books that I love to take on vacation. Robin Sharma just makes amazing vacation books. Like, his books are the kind of books that you want to read in a beautiful place, whether it's like on a beach or in a garden. It's story based. It's not like straight information, and everything in there is just pure wisdom.
I feel the same way about Don Miguel Ruiz.
Yeah, exactly. So like I read a ton of books, and a lot of the books that I read are they're obviously fiction books, and I always get that confused. They're nonfiction books, and they're heady, like very information heavy and things like that. A lot to process. His books are just brilliant because it's that kind of information and just a story. He has another one called The Saint, the Surfer, and the CEO, which is also brilliant. But pretty much anything he writes is awesome. So this is a quote from that book, and thank you, Kevin, for posting this. So he wrote, "Understand once and for all that your mind has magnetic power to attract all that you desire into your life." I would just alter that to say that it's not your mind, it's more your heart has magnetic powers. If there is lack in your life, is because there is lack in your thoughts. Hold wonderful pictures in your mind's eye. Even one negative image is poisonous to your mindset. Once you start to experience the joy this ancient technique brings, you will realize the infinite potential of your mind and begin to liberate the storehouse of ability and energy that currently sleeps within you. So, Mary, to answer your question, the way that you receive more abundance is that you become an open vessel to receive. What I want you guys to understand is that the universe, multiverse, God, whatever you want to call it, is constantly trying to deliver things to you, okay? Now, here's where it gets a little, I'm going to add like a little twist to this. We say no or no more, or we get overwhelmed because of our judgments. This is good thoughts, I want to have this. This is bad thoughts, I don't want to have that. And so we either are trying to hold on to these good, amazing thoughts, or we're repelling the quote unquote bad thoughts. And all of them are neither good nor bad. It's just your judgment and determination on them. What if the whole enchilada was your download, right? All of it was for you to receive. Some of it was for you to receive, to enjoy and just be, oh, this feels so good. Like, yes, more of this. And other of it is like, yes, please. And I'm thankful because now I get this opportunity to grow from this. So when you have a thought that doesn't align with who you know yourself to be at this moment. So let's talk about, you have thoughts that don't align with your view now of abundance. Well, guess what? That's a part of you that you're shaming or blaming or guilting or not owning. And when you love that part of you too, and love the message that it delivers as an opportunity to see that which is in your way of receiving fully all that is coming to you, that's a blessing too. And once you can receive all of it, that which you deem good and that which you deem bad, the multiverse is like, yo, this person is ready to receive it all. Boom. Like, so right now, what you're basically trying to receive is like through this wrinkly ass hose with all sorts of judgments about like, okay, just filter this stuff out for me, please. And don't send me that. And just give me this. And so by the time it comes out, it's like, tick, tick, tick. And you're like, why no more abundance?
Because it becomes, just to speak a little bit more, because of all the constraints you put on it.
Yeah.
It's like putting roadblocks in the way. The car's moving 200 miles per hour, and you're like, oh, well, I'll put a roadblock here because it's not supposed to be like that. I'll put a roadblock here, and the car's like, all right, I gotta slow down and like do this. you're just decreasing all the velocity and all the possibility of that coming in like a boom. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's really it. Like the more you can love everything, every thought that enters your mind, every feeling and experience and circumstance that's in your life, that's how you receive more abundance. Abundance is everything, right? It's not like I choose only to receive X. Guys, I don't know any person as evolved as we have all become that doesn't receive things that from the outside world people would perceive as bad. You know, Anna, for example, who's like one of the most gifted human beings I've ever been around. She truly is the oracle. Like the woman can tell countries how to run the world, you know, like at that level. And yet her life still has many ups and downs and all sorts of things, right, that she's dealing with. And you're like, you can fucking predict like lifetimes. How is it, you know? And it just, that's her physical life experience. Just because you gain all these tools doesn't mean your life becomes all of a sudden like rainbows and glitter. It's still life, right? And the experiences that you are calling to come to you and through you and for you are all of those so that you could receive more and more and more abundance, that which you seek. Remember that all of it is aligning your frequency and raising your vibration. So Matt asked, I don't know how to feel vibrations. How does that feel? Bro, maybe you can just touch on that a little bit.
So look, there's no way you don't know how to do that. Because you've been doing it your whole life. It's just
can I just give like 2 or 3 examples that are super simple that everyone's had?
Please do, yeah.
Okay. So by the way, this is straight from Conversations with God, book 4, like, oh, talk about a piece of chocolate. So you walk into a room and you have no thought. You just have a feeling. You're like, I don't feel good in this room. I don't want to be in here in this room. And that could be a restaurant, a bar, an interview, or whatever. And you just walk out. And if someone asks you, like, why you walk out, you're like, I don't know. It just didn't feel right. You walk into a room. A couple has just been in that room fighting. They can have the smiles, all the stuff. And you feel tension happen in the room. Falling in love, right? Not a thought, a feeling. A super vibration in the body. Really simple. You put on an outfit, a shirt, pair of jeans, something, and your body goes, nope, don't feel comfortable in that, not wearing that today, right? Like we have these things that we always do. And we just don't buy that it's a language that we understand. So even Matt, like in the question, right? There is a lack of belief in your ability to sense that, even though I'm sure every single one of these experiences I just mentioned to you, you've had, right? Like you've had the experience that I've shared with, I mean, if you're a human being, you've had those experiences. And so clearly you have the ability and clearly it works. It's just, we don't believe it. So yeah, go ahead, bro.
I mean, I think you've mentioned it right there, right? Like, so guys, there's like plenty of experiences that you've had or haven't had yet. You know, I keep saying the analogy of like a child who's aware of love, but has never actually like had that particular experience yet, like of like rising into love in a relationship. Yet before you ever had that first experience, you had a sense of it. There's a sensation of it, and then you had that vibration happen to you, and there it was. So it's like, it's not about, it's, you want to be very mindful of creating context that you're only trying to understand through the mind. Mostly what Ilan and I have been sharing for the last month, honestly, if you're like, oh, I understand what you guys are talking about, you've immediately put a limitation on what we're talking about. You know, whether it's people ask about DMT and other experiences like that, you know, and Ilan hasn't had those experiences yet, although he's had like DMT-like experiences. The moment you open your mouth and you give distinction and language to it, you're shrinking the impact of it. It's just not the same.
And I will add, though, that I do believe it is important to attempt to share and describe so that you can start to ground the experience for yourself. Like the reason Guy and I were so adamant about coming out of the jungle and sharing with you guys, even though that we know it's not even a sliver of the experience that we can, every word that we say about it is almost like demeaning to what the experience actually was. And I think it's really, really important for us to share because it creates for us the reality of what it was. Because if it just got left in like the mind as the experience, we wouldn't be able to own a lot of the things that have occurred to us. So attempting to explain something, and that's why it's amazing to have kids, right? Because kids ask amazing questions. Attempting to explain something to a 5-year-old in such a way that they understand it grows your level of mastery. I mean, there's scientific studies about take a concept that you've learned and go attempt to teach that concept to a child. Once you are able to teach that concept to a child, you have now mastered that concept.
Well, yes and no. I mean, I agree with that to an extent. So here's the thing, like we can create mental constructs and even language constructs for anything, right? Now, the issue is if you turn that formulaic and you conclude that that's the way to get there, you've created limitation.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, I have an experience. Of course, I want to give it language because the more language I give it, the more access I have in my perceived reality. However, if I create an attachment at the same time to this is the right way to get there, I no longer see what's going to unfold next.
Yes.
If I had just remained open. So it's like creating the structure and then being completely open that it's wrong and it could be destroyed. Or not even that it's wrong. It's just that it's going to keep transforming. I don't know about you guys, but my understanding of love hasn't remained the same since I was 7 years old. You guys agree? Like there have been structures in which I've experienced love through. That's changed. Like the next relationship, it's like, oh, I didn't even know what love was 2 years ago. And I didn't even know. Like it can constantly morph and change. Yeah, think about how many things in your perceived reality that you think you know how it actually is, and you live your life like you know how it actually is. Like you have a formula, you're so sure. 2 + 2 does not equal 4. 1 + 1 does not equal 2. If I give you 2 ice cubes and we put it in every one of your pockets, and you go run around the block, by the time you come back, there are no ice cubes in your pocket. So 2 + 2 in that situation equals 0. And there's a lot of these different ways, right? So it's like in certain points of view and methodologies, depending on how you're looking at it, we can conclude certain things from that perspective. But that's just one archetype of looking through things. Science makes claims about things all the time. And then we all go, oh, well, that's true now. Except that from a timeline down the road and a different perspective, even in science's terms, it's going to change and alter. I don't know about you guys. Chocolate's been good, and then it's bad, and it's good, and it's bad, like 5 billion fucking times. I still don't know if an egg you're supposed to eat the center or not because they can't decide whether cholesterol is good for you or bad for you. Science. So it's like we have to start perceiving everything as it's a methodology and an archetype and a paradigm to view things through, and it is a way of deciphering our perceived reality, and yet it is not what reality is, which is why I say let go of reality at all, or having to understand or perceive what actually is, like leaning into the illusion, because it's not about us needing to understand collectively what it is. It's about you feeling into what's the truth of your universal reality. I think the best clues for seeing what's universal is looking at like celestial and cosmic ways that we can perceive that things work, right? And then like I believe the future of technology, the future of ourselves is having a much greater understanding of the natural flow and order of things on our planet, like the way that different forces move, and then us starting to replicate technology, buildings, everything in the same way that a fractal moves. Like the structures of the future will be in alignment with natural order and law, and that's why they'll self-evolve. Because, well, literally, it's hard to perceive right now because we just don't think this way, but even like, we'll have technology that will evolve, and AI that will evolve, hardware and software. It's just really difficult to even perceive that right now. So it's like, again, it's like, yes, let's have these experiences. Sure, let's even share at them and create language constructs around them, and then be completely open and completely unattached that we've discovered anything, and keep the process of remembering going, because there's eternal process of remembering that's just going to keep coming. I believe my evolution's happening so because I have no attachment to anything anymore. Or not, I can't say anything anymore. However, like my thoughts and what I think is real, I'm willing to let everything I just shared on this podcast, on this live today, completely go. So tomorrow that I have a completely different experience.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make me scared that there's an unknown. I think that's part of like where of capacity on that is built. Like we're not scared of not knowing. In fact, it's exhilarating and exciting not to know because it makes the next day just as magical as today. I get to be in a constant state of discovery. It's why I like these Facebook Lives and sharing all the time too. It just puts me in a state of discovery. And so that was interesting that I said that today, right? And kind of keeping that context all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. We learned a long time ago that if you hear the way the brain works is when you hear a concept, you try for the brain, right? Because it wants it to be somewhat familiar. It's like you have a brick wall of your ideas and constructs of the world. And then you hear something new and you automatically assume that it's another brick. And so you just take the brick and you look at it and you're like, okay, well, this brick goes here, right? And that's generally how we take information. What if the thing that you are receiving, whether it's a transmission, a download, something that you hear here, what if it's not a brick? And what if it doesn't go into the wall? And what if it doesn't look like a brick or anything? And all that our brain tries to do is chunk it down into a brick. Oh, this sounds like that. Oh, this is like that other thing that I did here, right? And what that does is, it's like I said, that stops the inquiry that would there come. Because your brain's already gone like, oh, we already know this thing. It's like that. Well, what if you don't know that thing? The only way that you can hear something newly is if you actually hear something newly and investigate it with beginner's mind, right? Something Buddha spoke about all the time. Now, I know that in practice, that is much more difficult than the theory behind it, and it's something worth exploring for sure. So, bro, I'm curious. We had a really interesting conversation today with a Hall of Fame speaker, and I didn't know, but I didn't find out till like 2 years ago. There's actually a Hall of Fame for public speakers, best speakers in the world. He is not only in the Hall of Fame, he's trained more Hall of Fame speakers than anybody on the planet. He's really one of the best of the best of the best. And I'm thinking, as we're coming to a wrap on this, what's a call to action that we can offer to the people listening here and on a replay that is simple, that they can do, and that will create awesome results, and then hopefully have them want to move forward? So I've kind of been like messing with that in my head, and I'm just curious if you have anything that you'd like to offer.
So here's what I would throw out there. For me, and you guys check in with yourselves, it's exciting to run experiments, right? Like what I'm talking about with this like IA frequency, upgrading my software, like just believing that stuff, right? I've had sensations that would have me believe that those experiences are really happening to me. But again, it's a perception. Who the fuck knows what's really going on? I can't go inside and be like, hey, operating system. Like, I don't have an about me section that I can open up a menu and be like, oh, good, the upgrade, like the upgrade happened. And yet it's really exciting to run experiments on yourself, because, and that's why I go do the experiences I go do, because I want to be put in a circumstances in a safe container where I can run an experiment fully, right? So we have to, or we don't have to anything, we can start looking at and make presumptions that our beliefs are blocking us from seeing the world in a new way, your relationships in a new way, yourself in a new way. It's exciting to wake up every single morning and not even plan the day, which is why I think it's so important to start living from intuition. And it's like, oh, what am I feeling into versus what am I thinking that I'm going to do today? So what do I get to do, and now what do I have to do? So my call to action is run experiments, and not so you can understand something new, to just see what you notice. Because even as a scientist, they're just observers, right? They're running experiments, and they're like, let's see what we've observed. Let's see what we noticed. And then they're making certain conjectures off of that, and then letting that go for the next layer, and the next unfolding, and the next unfolding, and the next unfolding. So for me, it's like, if we're looking at global transformation as an ascension process, Has a certain speed to it, not a certain time to it, a certain speed to it. And I think we would all agree that there's an experience of time being accelerated.
So here's my question. What's an experiment that anyone that's listening right now could run as soon as they get off this call that is simple enough to test the experiment model?
Perfect. So like Mary's asking about abundance. I think most of us would, whether it's health, abundance, relationships, whatever. Instead of having to figure out how to become more abundant, which is all the world's doing, or how to get your health better, which is all the world is doing, or how to have better relationships, which is all the world is doing, wake up and just already have that belief. Operate as if the outcome that you want, that you think you need to get to, has already happened, because time doesn't exist. So there's no linear fashion to get there. That's why there's no blueprint to get there. I can't tell you, do step 1, 2, and 3, and you're there. I can tell you, have that belief already, and feel that feeling that you would have had you already attained that within your body. And for the next week, whatever other thoughts come in, feelings that come in that would have you distrust that, you're just going to lay them to the wayside, like putting your opinions at the door, and then you'll get them back later. You tell me at the end of that week what you notice, and you tell me at the end of that week if you want your old opinions back.
Yeah.
Run that experiment.
So I have a way to make it really simple. Everyone, you right now, has a way the world is around money. This is how it is around money. Okay. When you get off this call, you can even do it in the comment box. Okay. You write one of your most strongly held beliefs around money. It could be, money doesn't grow on trees. It takes hard work to create money. It could be something empowering, disempowering. It doesn't matter. Something that is very, very strongly held. Okay. And by writing it in the comment box, you agree to investigate that belief. Just one. You don't have to write a list of 10. Literally, just one. First one that comes to you around money. Money is this. To get money is that. Whatever you do, you write it down, okay? And then for the rest of the day and tomorrow, you see how many times that thought has prevailed in your mind's eye, and you choose to upgrade it to something else. Okay, so like if for Guy and I, one of our biggest breakthroughs around money was we had, and this was very empowering, like it made us have amazing results. We had it that you had to work really hard to be successful and earn money. Now, for most of you guys, it's like, yeah, that's super logical. That might be yours, okay? So what we gave ourselves permission was to actually investigate that. Well, is that actually true? Is that 100% true? And you know what was amazing that happened? As soon as we created that even opening for an inquiry, different messages started coming in. We started seeing other people operating in such a way where they weren't really working that hard. They were making more money than anyone we saw, and it started challenging the strongly held belief that we had. You have this about every area of life, okay? I'm inviting you right now, write something that you strongly hold to be true around money, around abundance. Post it in this comment box, write it down for yourself. And for the next 24, 48 hours, let's do for the next 24 hours, you investigate that and see what arises. And if you create new openings out of just publicly stating it and opening that inquiry, then do another one the next day and another one the next day, and start a practice of investigating these strongly held beliefs and just see what arises. Nothing to do, just notice what arises. How many guys are willing to play that game for the next 24 hours? And bro, you can
while they're doing that. So like, I would just always begin with the presumption that any belief you have currently is not your own. That it was like subconsciously picked up, whether it's societal, whether you read it in the book, whether it's something your parents talked about or something your friends agreed upon. really, like if we do not investigate why we believe the things that we believe for the most part, and I think it wouldn't be too far-fetched to say that if we investigate anything long enough, we'll find that it's not true. Like anything in this universe, or at least poke some holes in it, or reconfigure it, or have it start unfolding in new ways. So it's like, you know, you have a money thing because you really haven't taken the time to investigate why the fuck you believe what you believe around money, or what it takes to get to a specific result, or what it takes to have the body of your dreams, or the relationships of your dreams. If you actually investigate it, you'd be like, that's a silly thought. Except because most of us have lived our lives with a single thought, and then we created agreement through our circles, like through our communities, that everyone now believes the same shit we believe. Notice how you don't really have friends that believe things differently than you. If they did, they probably wouldn't be your friends. You know, and it's like, it's allowing ourselves to step outside of these commonly held beliefs. What what's his name from Mind Valley calls rules, right? Bullshit rules, basically. Looking at all these bullshit rules and saying, is that true for me? And if it's true for you, awesome, keep the rule. And if it's not, why do you believe that? No one's forcing you. There's no gun at your head that says, hey, you have to believe this rule, or you need to abide by this any shape, way, or form. Free will is a thing, I think, because every time I'm with one of these entities and creatures and I ask any questions that would thwart my free will, they do not answer them.
Yep.
Anything that would set expectation, they don't answer those questions, because they understand that they would set some kind of attachment in motion, and that could actually literally alter the future for all of us, literally.
Yep.
Instead of you choosing freely. So they offer guidance, but they don't want to take away your choices. So I think that's important for all of us to kind of just like sit with and think like, all right, well, I'm not getting the results I want. I don't feel the way that I want to feel. What rules am I keeping in place right now? The rules that I'm playing by that are creating these results, and like by rules, and then start experimenting again.
Yeah,
that's an exciting way to live.
Brilliant. And if that works for you, then write down another one and do that one the next day, and just see what starts to unravel. All right, guys. So this is time to wrap up. And I'm sorry, Kim, I know you don't want us to wrap up. It's something we have to do at this point. So for all of you guys that want to continue these kind of conversations with us, the easiest way to do that is head over to SatoriPrime.com/coaching. SatoriPrime.com/coaching. And you can find out about how you can be in our academy, or Have It All Academy. And in our Have It All Academy, you have access to us not only for 4 hours a month live. In addition, you have access to a private community of like-minded, amazing human beings, up to incredible things. Just a quick story from yesterday. One of our students in the academy started with us in February with a goal of opening up his new gym. This was April 4th. As of yesterday, the gym is near completion, nearing open, and he already has 5 clients. So I'm talking results with velocity. If you're not one to get results with velocity, do not check it out. If you're someone who wants to manifest the life of your dreams, the abundance of your dreams, the body of your dreams, the relationship of your dreams, you want to truly
come on now,
have it all, SatoriPrime.com/coaching. Love you guys so much. Keep coming. Mary, please save that question. It is an awesome question. It would just take much longer. So please, please, please write that question down. Come back next Wednesday. I would love to dig on that one a bit farther. Okay.
Yeah. And then Monday and Wednesday, guys, just come and share with us. You know, what's your experiences?
Yeah.
Let us know.
All right. Make it an amazing day, everyone. Love you.
Love you too. Bye, everybody.